Hello, everybody. My name is Tracy. I am a pet loss bereavement counsellor and vet nurse. And today I have Spencer Klein here to chat to us. He is the founder of Life After Losing Animals, LALA. He had a beautiful dog called LALA, and so that's where the name has come from. So welcome, Spencer.
Thanks very much, Tracy. Nice to catch up with you again.
Yes, it's been too long, so glad we could catch up today. So listeners, we'd like to talk to you a little bit about the vision for LALA and how it all came about. So I'll hand over to Spencer and he can explain what life after losing animals means to him. And yeah.
Thanks, Tracy. So as you mentioned, I lost my pet just over a year ago. And at the time, as anyone knows who's lost their pet, you go through quite a traumatic experience after that. And as much as I could do in terms of memories for her and giving her resting place, the best what I could do when she passed, and doing everything in a way as a memory of her. I still found that there was something more that I wanted to do, and that was the realization of Lala, which is once you've lost your animals, we're all in the same space. We all feel that loss, and sometimes that issue of being able to talk to someone and connect out is quite difficult. And I found that as much as some people might not want to talk about it, or some people might want to talk about it, that I that's where I thought a actual community space for pet loss was needed. And I did search around myself after looking after my loss. I was looking for somewhere I could go to, a community, not necessarily like it's great that you're a counselor, Tracy, for
Yeah.
pets, and but actually a group of people that may be in a community that had come together with that similar turbulent experience, traumatic experience, I should say.
Yeah.
And I struggled to find things out there. I found some sites around spiritual connecting to dogs on the outs over the Rainbow Bridge, and as yourself, there aren't many pet counselors, so you're generally
Yeah,
you are a
that's
diamond out
very
there.
true. Yes, definitely needs to be more of us. There's counsellors that do regular counselling, but there's specialists for pet loss. And I totally agree. There needs to be more. There definitely needs to be more in Perth. So if you are one, please hit us up and get connected with us. But yeah, I agree. It's the biggest thing is that lack of support and that community. We've all been through a loss, but we take it very differently. And I know Lala had a pretty tragic end. So being able to openly talk about her in a loving light and getting that knowing what that means to people. It's not just a dog or a cat. They're an absolute part of our family, and they should be respected that way as well. So yeah, there should be no shame in talking about how much you love your animals and how much you miss them. So yeah, I think this is going to be a great community to help other people that have gone through a tragic loss.
Thanks, Tracy. I'm really excited about the project as well. This project is not a money orientated project. There's no financial impetus. It's just for the love of our pets, and bringing people together who can feel they can come to a safe space and network with like-minded people and connect. And essentially, you might not necessarily want to have a voice, but you just might want to listen and see what's out there for you. So that this initiative offers that. And as you say, my dog's name was Lala, and very aptly, life after losing animals. So she's never forgotten,
Yeah.
but it is there
It's a
for
lovely
everyone.
tribute to Lala.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, that's essentially the vision is somewhere you can go, be safe, to talk to others, meet people in like-minded spaces. We know, as social creatures ourselves, that there are groups for interests in out there. There's also groups for people who have gone through some experiences, but we found that actually groups for pet loss is there wasn't really anything. And this is, although we are based in Western Australia, in Perth, this opportunity is for people to be anywhere they are in the world that are suffering, to connect. So we could have people from all over the world connecting into together, to help each other go through that, what we go through as we lose our pets, and also feel like they've got some comfort,
Mm.
knowing that there's people out there that they can reach out to, that have had similar experiences in terms of loss, of a loved one. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the project.
Yeah. And on a personal note, Spencer, have you already experienced the first year of Lala's passing?
Yes, I have. It's been more than a year
Mm.
since she passed. So she passed back in 2022,
Mhm.
and at the beginning of that. So we're now, being this into 2023. It's been more than a year, and I used to do things like light a candle every night in her memory, um, and the time does help, but essentially, you never forget. You never forget them, and it's always there's always something there, and the fact that there's people out there in the same situation. It's almost like kindred spirits out there come together, and you can share that love and together.
Mm. Yeah, I asked because I know a lot of people that I speak to find it very hard when it's like Father's Day, Mother's Day, Easter, Christmas, their anniversary, their birthdays, their gotcha days, and it can be really a really struggling time. You don't know what to do. It's the first time that you're kind of wanting to celebrate these events, but your loved one's no longer here. So yeah, I think having those rituals of candles, and I spoke to a lady the other day who her little cat had passed away, and she bought a birthday cake for Mother's Day because it was their first Mother's Day without the cat for 20 years. And so they were able to implement that in a way and celebrate the love for their cat on Mother's Day. And so it wasn't an overly sad event. They were able to turn it around and make it a happy one. So, yeah.
That's lovely, Tracy, and thanks for sharing that story. It's it's just amazing because, as much as people may say, well, we do have our families, or partners, or people that you can go to, friends. Sometimes people don't always want to do that, or they might not have the family that want to listen to their story all the time.
Yeah.
And the fact is that when you have your family, that your kids, they can grow up, and they move out, or the things change, the dynamics change, but as your pet doesn't, they don't move out, they stay with you until the end.
Yeah.
As that's the one thing that's certain, is you have your pet all the way, and they have you all their life, and not a lot changes in that respect. There's no, they don't become a teenager and things change all of a sudden.
They get
fly the nest.
hormones.
Yeah. So essentially, you've got that pet, and I think that's where sometimes um, this vision is to really appreciate that our pets are really important to us. They are like, as we say, they're like our children, but they're our companion, and a lot of people, that's all they have. They may not have family, and therefore when they lose their companion, that's everything. And things do change, as you said, birthdays, special occasions, that will really affect your sort of future going forward. So this is kind of a very safe space for you to feel comfortable, feel safe, be with others who've had that experience and feel appreciated. And if you feel that you can't talk to friends, family, or if you can, that's great. But this is another option on the table, another channel for you to reach out to get to for you to feel like there's a cushion under you for what you've been through.
Yeah, awesome. And you've created a little Facebook group. It's a private group that people can join.
That's right. Thanks, Tracy. So the Facebook group is called Life After Losing Animals, LALA, and it is a private group. But if you look, it is publicly available to search. So if you search for that, you'll find the group, and then you can just request access. And we've made it private because for people's going based on what we've just discussed, it's there really for people who are genuinely wanting to be in that community, and then we will embrace them into the group and help in any way we can. Essentially, also the group will. This is the first podcast, so what we're looking to do, Tracy, is actually develop and have more podcasts on a potentially a monthly basis, where we will invite people who have animal connections with animals, whether that's through pet loss or whether that's current connections with animals in terms of providing more education and awareness around our animals, and providing some interesting insights and developments into what our speakers are going to offer in terms of their subjects. And yeah, it's going to be some exciting times, but I'll leave that to be continued on who the speakers will be.
We'll unveil that when the
Yes.
time comes. But I was just having a thought then, potentially it wouldn't just be for people who have lost an animal. They might be preparing to lose an animal. So if their pet has been given a bad diagnosis, and so they're doing the preparation, and they've got all that anticipatory grief that they're not really sure what to do with, and that's basically grieving before the loss has happened. So you're already preempting life without them. So I think that would be extended to those people that are going through that as well, not just the people that have gone on the other side and lost an animal. So
yeah, that's a lovely point, Tracy. And the group is there also for people who do work with animals to provide help, and we're going to be here to encourage. Like for example, I did meet a lady who actually does artists. She's an animal artist, and I happen to have my dog drawn by an artist before she passed. Not this one, but these are the sort of people who will be available on the site, so that if you wanted a beautiful portrait of your dog, and we encourage people with these great talents to come forward to be part of our community as we help develop our vision of LALA.
Yeah, beautiful. And Spencer too, I wanted to touch on, I know when my boy Opie was put to sleep, and it was very a beautiful send off for him. My partner, my husband, he's not really a shower of emotion, if you like. He didn't, I definitely had the bond with Opie, not him. So he was very short and sweet, and in very loose inverted commas, got over the loss really quickly, because he didn't have that connection that I had with him. But I feel like there's a bit of a gender division, that if you're a woman, or you're allowed to express your emotions willingly and openly, but if you're a gentleman, or you might be too sensitive, or what it like, they put labels on everything. And I just wanted to get your take on that. Being a male, there should be no shame in showing your love to your pets. How do you feel about that?
Absolutely. So it is harder. Well, I wouldn't say harder. I don't know. So I'll take that back. But it is difficult for guys, as you say, in general. And I'd say not all guys, because we have guys who are great. They're able to express their emotions, but then there's also, I found myself in my own personal situation, that although I could express my emotion, the people that I was expressing my emotion to, I like family, weren't really very. They were tolerant of that, but I just found that it wasn't really the right forum for me to go to them, and that's why another reason why I looked at this project was I wanted to be able to feel safe in terms of being able to express myself, or being able to go somewhere. So in some ways, if you don't want to say something, at least you have the opportunity to go somewhere to find out about it. So quite often, and it might not just be a guy, it might be also from a female side of things.
Yeah.
Female might not want to express their emotions, but at the same time, they would like to look and listen to what others have said about their loss of pets. So, in order to be able to grieve themselves. So, at the same time, as you said, from a generalization side, that
Yes.
potentially guys may not be as expressive, that it could happen as well for females, and that this forum will allow males or females to be able to either not express or express by being part of this connection. And I found, from my own personal view, I was able to express my feelings, but I just wasn't expressing them in the right space for people that were sort of as sympathetic or understanding as I felt I wanted. So that's why this site will allow that expression or feeling, or the opportunity to welcome you in, to be able to feel safe,
Yeah.
to uh, to look at how you can deal with those feelings that you may be having
Yeah.
after the loss of your pet.
And they're big feelings, big emotions, and we don't always have a place to put them. And again, some of the people that I've been working with have lost animals 20 years ago, and they didn't know how they could. They kind of just pushed it right down, and until something that's happened recently, it all gets bubbled up to the surface again. And they were like, "Oh, I hadn't dealt with that 20 years ago, so that's impacted on now's loss." So yeah, as a community, we suck at learning how to look after people who are in that sad space, in grieving, and we've never really been taught how to do it properly. So
Exactly.
I'm so glad that we've got a forum to be able to do that now.
So two of the things that we won't ask, which is what does get asked, is, are you getting another one?
Oh,
And the second thing was, how old were they when they passed away?
yeah.
So those are sort of questions that we are very it doesn't really matter how old the pet was, and oh well, you don't, or and you do get that question maybe when your great nana passes, or great, or your grandparent. But at the end of the day, it doesn't make it any easier what age they are.
Yeah, you're so right. It's useless information.
Yeah,
Like we always want longer with our pets anyway. So
that's
and
right.
it's tragic if it's a young puppy or kitten or bird. But yeah, age doesn't really come into it. It's the
That's it.
connection that we had with our animals that makes it so special.
So that those are the sort of things that when you do talk to, you know, when I found I was talking to family or friends, those were the sort of things. And am I thinking of getting a pet? Now, if you know, heaven forbid, your partner gets sick and passes away, or God heaven forbid, you know, one of your children, the last thing that you expect a friend to say is that, but it's okay if it's a pet. So this is where
Okay.
we
That
need to
question
kind of,
does my head in.
that's why I felt that we need to kind of do a bit of a game changer by
Absolutely.
having this sort of safe environment where you may not get the sort of responses that you expect from people who really care about you. And as much as they do care, it's not their fault. It's just the way we've been brought up in terms of society with dealing with those situations. In general, I should say, it's not everyone, but whereas this is a new way, a new approach of, you know, there's a lot of people who have pets around the world, and it's becoming more and more common, especially post COVID. A lot of people, I think there was a, it was a hard to get pets. Pets and bicycles seem to go become unavailable.
And podcast, yeah, equipment. But I can tell you firsthand, vets have never been busier with the amount of patients that we are looking after at the moment. And we are short-staffed. And anyway, that's a whole other podcast. But yes, that we're seeing a lot more animals now. We're trying to book in more appointments to make people, yeah, to become more available, because we've got so many animals to look after now. And yeah, you're right. COVID was great that everyone could stay at home with their pets. I personally didn't get that experience because my boy died just beforehand. But yeah, the COVID puppies and kittens that we saw come through the door, and we've yeah, had good relationships with, and now they're 2, 3, 4 years old. Yeah, we've never been crazier, busier. So yeah, we love animals. We love having them around. They're great little companions. So I don't want to change that at all. Yeah.
So I think the motto is, you know, enjoy life, enjoy your pet, but the key is that we are here, and we're not just here, as you said, if your pet has been lost, has gone to the Rainbow Bridge, or is very sick. We're also here really around just because we love pets and we love
Yeah.
our pets, and feel free to join our group to learn more and more education around the love of pets. At the same time, we are on Instagram as well. So Life After Losing Animals is there, and we're looking at some other social initiatives. I'm sure TikTok's in the work and all that sort of stuff. So yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Well, yeah, if anyone would like to join the Life After Losing Animals on Instagram or on Facebook, then please join up and we'll accept your friend request and add you to the group. And yeah, it'll be a lovely little space to share your photos, stories, and love basically of your babies. And we'd love to hear about your pets.
So,
Going.
well, one other thing I will say is when I was going through that process of my pet was getting older, and I had to go to the vet, quite often I was asking, is there any support for me psychologically? And apart from, as you say, a few of yourselves in the pet counselling, the vets didn't really have that depth, and it was almost as if they wanted to help, but there
Yeah.
was nothing that they could offer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they're unaware of it. They don't get taught that stuff at vet school. There's no but pardon me, there is continuing education now on palliative care and end of life options. There's some fantastic mobile vets out there that do take the step further, and they do offer one-on-one support after the fact as well. So yeah, but the gap is not having a group situation that is supportive to people who have lost an animal. So yeah.
And if you come onto our site and you want to post your pet, a beautiful picture of you and your pet, we'd love to see you and your pet on our website, and we're on our Facebook site, I should say. So please, once you add yourself, will be then opportunities to post yourself with pet and get involved in some of our initiatives that we're going to be bringing up shortly.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be great.
Thanks very much, Tracy. It's been really good to catch up.
Yeah, cool. I look forward to catching up with you again maybe next month, and maybe having a guest speaker with us. So watch this space.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Great.
Thank you, Spencer.
Thank you, Tracy.